bows don't bend.
But they do, sir, don't they? In Parktown.
So, which one is it?
One owned by a man with the initial M, perhaps.
Excuse me, mate. Local police.
You have to do this now. I have a patient waiting.
It'll not take a moment, Mr.
McBride,
What is it you do here, Mr. McBride?
I'm an osteopath.
All coming into its own now, isn't it, this alternative New Age medicine?
There's nothing new age about osteopathy. It's one of the most ancient methods of healing known to man.
Yeah, of course. It's only now you're seeing it coming onto the box line.
How long have you lived in Parktown, Mr. McBride?
2 years.
Do you remember where you were on the 24th of July last?
I doubt it. Can you? If it was a weekday, I'd have been here treating my patients.
Did you ever know a young woman called Karen Anderson?
Doesn't ring a bell.
There's a photograph of her. It might help.
No, I'm sorry. Who is she?
What about this man?
I've never seen him before.
How about this one, Mr. McBride? Slightly better picture. That was taken here in your garden just after 2 o'clock on the 24th of July last, on Miss Anderson's camera. I'd say she stood about here. And you don't know either of them?
His name is Dr. James Mighton. He had been a fairly long-term patient. You see, one gets to talking. Locker room stuff. You know what men are like. We discovered a mutual interest.
In what?
Photography. Taking pictures. Which is how we came to know Karen.
What sort of pictures are we talking about?
Glamour.
Pornography.
Erotica.
Semantics, Mr. McBride.
We weren't interested in anything smutty. Just lingerie. A bit of top-off work. We thought it'd be something of a wheeze to put together an advert for a model.
So Karen Anderson came to Oxford that Sunday for a photographic session at your house. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. I didn't realise anything had happened to her until they'd arrested the Parnell.
Why didn't you come forward?
Well, you'd got him, hadn't you?
You and Mighton decided discretion was the better part of that.
No. The next session wasn't scheduled until the following month, by which time it had come out she'd been murdered. Dr. Mighton and I haven't contacted each other since.
You still have the pictures you took?
No, when I heard what had happened, I got rid of them. It seemed ghoulish to keep them.
Was anyone else with you that afternoon, Mr. McBride? Besides Mighton?
No. Like who?
Oh, good afternoon, madam. Detective Sergeant Lewis, Thames Valley.
Is it Jenny? You found something out?
No. No.
It's all right, Lynn. It's all right, darling.
It's the police, Alan. They've news.
No. It's a college matter. They've come to see me.
I thought...
No. I know, darling. I know.
I'm sorry, Alan.
That's all right. It's all right now. Why don't you make us some tea? Come in. Sorry about that.
Your wife's expecting a visit from the police, is it, sir?
My wife, I'm afraid, is always expecting a visit from the police, Sergeant. It's Jenny, you see. She was, our daughter. We lost her.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There's knocked off her bike coming down Cumnor Hill, hit and run. My wife, Lynn, well, you saw. Could we I mean, I'm sorry, but can we talk about something else? I find it very difficult.
What time did you get into college yesterday morning?
What time did I? About midday.
And before that?
I went shopping with Claire, Mrs. Osborne. She helps me out with Lynn. I'm afraid I'm not very good with day-to-day things.
Did you know Mr. Daly outside of work, Dr. Harding?
No.
You're sure?
Town and gown, Chief Inspector, town and gown. Can't imagine we mixed in the same circles.
What about a young woman named Karen Anderson? Did you know her?
Whom?
What about this man?
Never seen him before.
You do know Second Crescent, though, in Parktown. Mr. Alistair McBride, he was treating you for sciatica. Can you help us with that, Dr. Harding?
No, that's fine, darling. That's fine. We'll help ourselves. Thank you. That was cheap.
I'm not interested in the rights and wrongs of a group of men taking glamour pictures, Dr. Harding. My concern lies with Karen Anderson's murder.
But she was murdered by Parnell, wasn't she?
Mr. McBride said you left Second Crescent that afternoon with Karen and this man. And Dr. Mighton. Where did he go?
Mighton gave me a lift into town. They went on to the station, I suppose. Mighton usually dropped her off.
They went to Whiteham Woods.
Whiteham, really? Well,
It's more than likely they'd been there before. Did you ever go with them?
No, never. Look, I'm not proud of what I did, but I mean, you can understand. With Lynn, I couldn't come forward.
The one thing Mr. McBride couldn't provide us with, Dr. Harding, was an address for the good Dr. Mighton, but he thought you might know.
Do excuse the tenants. They're a law unto themselves.
Do you know what Dr. Mighton was doing in Oxford?
He was over from South Africa, undertaking some research at one of the colleges, I believe.
How long was his lead?
Until Christmas.
He went back to South Africa.
In the August, yes. It's a furnished flat, as you can see.
He left 4 months before the end of his lead. Did he leave a forwarding address?
No, just paid all his bills up until the end of the year and went. Are you looking yourself? Property, that is.
No. No.
Sir? Ah, yes. The pictures. There are quite a number of them. We thought he might get in touch to have them sent on.
These are Dr. Mighton's then?
Oh, yes, Lewis. They're Mightons.
You think M stands for Mighton?
Don't you?
All right. But why Whiteham Woods?
I look forward to seeing you here again. Where do you think here was?
Oxford, obviously.
Did any of you ever consider that what was on the front of the card was equally as important as what was on the back?
It's just a picture. The Woodman's Daughter by...
Millet, Lewis. It's pronounced Millet, one of the pre-Raphaelite Brotherhood.
So?
Unlike some, Millet was minutely accurate in his research. I had a feeling there was some specific Oxford connection to the Woodman's Daughter, so I got hold of a book on the pre-Raphaelites.
What's that got to do with here?
I quote, Mrs. Joanna Matthews, a friend of the artist, wrote in her diary of 1850 that Millet was hard at work painting the background of his picture from nature. In Whiteham Woods.
Search them?
As soon as possible.
What's this? It's you, Lewis, and a metal detector, is it? Because there's no way the Chief Constable will wear an operation of this size.
I've thought of that, sir. I propose we draft in a contingent of specials.
Whiteham's one hell of a ricochet for your Blenheim bullet, isn't it?
We're not looking for the bullet, sir. We are looking for Karen Anderson. If we find her body in Whiteham, we can discount Parnell's story about dumping her in Blenheim Lake once and for all.
This had better be about something besides you proving Johnson wrong, Morse, I'm telling you.
Karen Anderson came to Oxford to pose for pornographic pictures. After the session, James Myton, one of 3 men present, left to put her on the train home. We have photographs of him, taken in Whiteham later that afternoon, on Karen Anderson's camera.
Well, how does that fit in with Daly?
Rather than simply finding the bag, I think Daly saw Myton dump it.
What do you mean Daly was blackmailing him?
I believe so.
Well, he left it a bit late in the day to do something about it then, didn't he? I mean, the girl was killed a year ago. Why shoot Daly now?
Parnell's death would have left only Myton and Daly who knew the truth. Perhaps Daly got greedy and...
If I didn't know you better, I'd say you were busking.
I may not have all the answers yet, sir, but I'm close.
Well, you better be. The Chief Constable isn't happy with you sniffing around the Parnell case.
Meaning?
He wants to put Johnson back at the helm. You make a pills of this, I might not be able to stop him. What was it put you onto Whiteham in the first place?
A painting, sir.
A painting? Well, you better walk out of the woods with something more than just a shovel in your hand, matey, or you'll be the laughing stock of Thames Valley.
It won't be the first time.
No, but it might just be the last.
I was just looking up.
I came to return your book.
You might have told me you were a policeman.
I didn't want to put you off.
You didn't come to the bookshop by accident that first time, did you?
No.
Why, then?
To see you again.
Alan said you were clever.
Well,
He also said you were cheap.
did he?
He probably meant shrewd. Words aren't Alan's strong suit. You've come to ask me if I was with him the day that wretched Daly fellow was shot.
Were you?
Yes. Alan's not really terribly practical, and with Lynn...
Must be difficult. For both of you. I'll let you get on.
Did you mean that? About wanting to see me again?
I would have, but... the wedding ring.
It's to ward off unwanted admirers.
Of which I am sure there are many.
But I'm not doing anything tonight.
I'm sorry I can't. Early start.
Well...
But tomorrow.
So you think there's a lot of it we can discount, but...
And a fair bit you can't. She's been out here a year, you say? Shouldn't hold out too much hope. I think there'd be too much of her to find.
No, this is a chap called James Myton. You sure you haven't seen him anywhere around the woods?
You done this a year ago? Killed this girl?
Yep.
Well, we've only been married 5 months. I mean, I shouldn't think he's been back, would you?
No, probably not. It's a nice place you got here. Peaceful.
Not for much longer, though.
I shouldn't think you'll even notice we're here.
Only a gun, Sergeant. Some of the tenants have shotgun rights. Out after rabbit and pigeon. Do you shoot?
No. Don't say I'm mad keen on guns. Got a nasty habit of going off.
Yeah, it's just a tool. Couldn't get my job done without them.
Is that right? I didn't see.
Oh, no, I keep them in the gun cabinet. Can't leave them lying about when there's kids around.
Kids?
Oh, yeah, Kath's, expecting.
Oh, congratulations.
Thanks. Yeah, I thought I'd better start getting in good habits. No luck, then?
No, not yet.
Renton to base. Renton to base.
Morse.
Think you'd better come out, sir.
Not one of our designated search areas, sir. It was one of the dogs picked it up. Going spare, he was.
Get the covers over here now.
Over this way.
Neckerchiefs.
We found her, Lewis. We found her.
What am I supposed to do exactly?
Put it together, tell me how she died.
I shouldn't think there's 10% of the skeleton there. Animals will have dispersed the rest over a fairly wide area.
We'll start again at first light, see what else we can dig up.
It'll take some time.
I don't care how long it takes. Something happened here, Doctor. I need to know what. Better get on to the South African Embassy, see if he did go home last September. And the Met. Start circulating his picture. If Mighton killed Daly, he could still be in the country.
You think he's gone to London?
Sink pot of the Empire, Lewis. Good a place to start as any.
What about his car? I mean, if we could trace that.
Johnson set up some sort of road spot check, didn't he?
Yeah, but that was before we knew Karen Anderson had disappeared.
Well, that's my point. It's long odds, I know, but I wonder if Mighton could have been one of the drivers they stopped and questioned.
Oh, 1,000 stopped, eh?
You don't have to sort them out right away. Tomorrow morning will do.
Thanks, mate. Cheers. That's the last, then?
Till tomorrow.
Yeah, it'll be over soon.
Place will never be the same. They've ruined it.
New beginnings, Kath, eh? For all of us. Somewhere bigger. For the kid. Everything be fine. Come on.
Have you always been a policeman?
I suppose so.
You must be good at it. Chief Inspector, that's quite senior, isn't it?
6 ranks below Chief Constable.
Well.
And 3 above a beat officer. That's 1 rung up the ladder for every 10 years. Hardly a meteoric rise. There's talk of my rank being phased out altogether.
Phased out?
In an effort to streamline the service. When I joined, we spoke of victims and criminals. Now it's, well, everyone is a potential customer.
It can't be as bad as all that, surely.
Once upon a time, we solved crime with a brain and a notebook. These days, it's pie charts and laptops. The romance has gone.
Romance?
Can you see Holmes and Moriarty plunging over the Reichenbach Falls these days?
Yeah, but he was an amateur, though, wasn't he?
The fact remains, today, the area would be sealed off and surrounded by firearms officers while a hostage negotiator was sent for.
What will you do?
Go on to the end, like any dinosaur. And when I have outlived my usefulness, I will be phased out.
And then?
I've never thought about it. I'm not the retiring type. Shy, perhaps, but not retiring.
You still here, Sergeant Lewis?
In body, sir.
Well, I'd knock it off if I were you.
I'll give it another hour.
Where's Chief Inspector Morse?
Pursuing inquiries.